Burnout is a state of chronic work-related stress that leads to physical and emotional exhaustion and a feeling that your efforts just aren't making a difference. Pretending you're an apple farmer, one of the main parts of a job is to water the trees daily. I believe there are two kinds of burnout in this case. Number one is that when getting the water is intentionally made difficult. The landlord limits the water, doesn't allow you to get the water so that you can do what you need to do. The second one is that no matter how much you water, okay, the apples just aren't growing. Okay, as educators, these are oftentimes the issues that we face that makes us feel that either the job is not worth it or that people are just holding us back from doing our job. Hi everyone, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Edwin. Having worked with over 1,000 students to find their potential and coaching dozens of instructors to enhance their expertise, I want to help you overcome your difficulties and connect with your students again. For my subscribers, welcome back. The main solution for burnout is very simply just quitting. Not all the time we are able to do this. Sometimes we have really tried our best, and at the end of the day, the environment might not suit you, then quitting might actually be the best solution. For those who still love the environment around them, there are actually things that we can do. Okay, so the second solution is to lower expectations. As an educator, number two is to lower expectations. You can't inspire everyone and save everyone. If you're really in it for the long run, it's better to work at 70% for 50 years than 100% for 3 years. It is human nature to always think about short term, okay? The performance grading, whatever your boss says, they're all usually focused on the short term. But you really have to sustain yourself and think about the long term. One of the things that I learned, I think it was either from Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger, is that the most important thing is to avoid ruin, okay, when you're investing. Simon Sinek talks about the infinite game, which is that there are finite games like soccer, and there are infinite games like business. And I think in our careers, okay, actually it can be considered as an infinite game as well. What it means is that the point of the game is to stay in and not fall out. And not fall out of the game. Okay, what does this mean for our career is that it is important to see the factors that will derail you from having a long-term career. In a 10-year career, maybe let's say 60% of those times, 60%, 6 of those years are great. Maybe 4 of those years are not so fantastic. Sometimes we have to take a step back in order to focus on our other parts of our lives, and that is okay. The key thing is to step back and identify which are these years that you want to step back and take a chill pill and be okay with probably a lower performance grading or not having that much impact. Because most of the time the push is the need to push yourself every year the hardest you can, is that you burn out very fast, is that we are always chasing for the next high. So personally, I've been running weekly 10 km runs on a Saturday. It started off as an insane idea and I really dreaded it. The key thing about this was a test of longevity and not to run my personal best every single Saturday. My theory is that if I were to just run, okay, even at my worst days, I can tell myself that I ran a 10 km. And running a 10 km is actually pretty insane by itself. And the fact that I could continuously do it was simply because I let myself fail. There are some weeks where I fell sick. I just have to tell myself the next week I'll come back and definitely I'll be weaker, and I just have to be okay with it. And I believe this year I've ran about 30 10 kms this entire year. And big that's a vast improvement to every other year for my fitness. And it all comes down to lowering my expectations, that not every run can be my best, not every situation, that not every run can be my best, but if I keep going, okay, everything will start to compound and build up. And the next one is to set boundaries as an educator. More specifically, the boundaries between you and your students. I do believe that the point of an educator is to educate. We have to teach them how to fish and not catch the fish for them. I think there's always ongoing pressure for the teachers to produce results. Is that if you're a math teacher, your students get a C, okay, parents or the school might come to you and ask, why is this student getting a C? And we have to understand that not everyone learns at the same pace. Some people will take a bit more time. Okay, some people learn exceptionally fast. Some people are great at math, some people are great at English. So you have to be okay that for students who learn fast, you challenge them by giving them more problems. But for students who are unable to catch up, the same system would be detrimental to their learning. You have to adapt a new system for them in order for them to learn as well. And the key thing is about the long term. If your long term goal is for everyone to be self-directed learners, what's more important actually isn't teaching math or English. Actually, it is getting them passionate into something. They can have the discipline and the system to work on it themselves. I do believe that most of the time students, they don't want to fail. And they often fail because they don't have a proper system behind them. I know that successful people, okay, or successful students, their home environment is built in such a way that when they come home, they are unable to do anything else until their work is finished. Okay, then afterwards they can proceed with playing their games and whatever not. But for students with probably more dysfunctional families, or the environment just is too cramped or just not suitable for their growth and their studying, when they reach back home, studying is the last thing on their mind. And to help these people to succeed, you can probably sit down with them and ask them, you can ask them why they're unable to study properly. And if you get to the root cause of it, okay, then you can develop solutions that aims to fix the root cause, rather than you teach in a way that only fast-paced students get it, but slow-paced students, you scold them because they don't understand it as fast. So what we want to develop is an internal locus of control. This means that you can influence the world around you, where on the right you have the external locus of control. This means that the world decides what you do and you feel like you have no control. Fighting against burnout takes a lot of time and it can be very exhausting. We come into the job just wanting to do our best, but it feels like there's always this mountain to fight. I understand that the environment can't be changed all the time, and the best thing we can do for ourselves is to level up ourselves in dealing with the situation. Sometimes things might seem desperate, things might be lost. You might feel that you really need to get out of the place. And it is true that certain places are too toxic for you to be there. But I do believe that internally we always have the ability to make a difference. And when we change ourselves, we can change everyone around us and shape the environment that we want to see. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you everyone and have a good day.